Little late, Mike. Whoa. Whoa, falls are a real big risk as we age. It gets worse, and it's a real problem. We need to avoid them at all costs.
Statistically, in the U.S., people over 65 more frequently die from falls than automobile accidents.
That's right. And what we're going to do is give you the top 7 reasons and give why people fall, and then advice on how to avoid it so that your fall risk becomes as low as possible. Ran out of breath.
I see that.
Yeah.
And hear it.
Bob and Brad, the 2 most famous physical therapists on the internet.
I'm Brad.
I'm Mike, and behind the scenes we have Bob, and together we are the most famous physical therapy team on the internet.
In our opinion, of course.
And if you're new to our channel, like this video, please subscribe.
There you go. Subscribe whether you like it or not. Now, let's get on to serious business. Actually, I would like you to do this. Is a little old-fashioned, but this is for people my age or older. Get a piece of paper and a pen or pencil out. And then we're going to go through 7 reasons. Check off the ones that pertain to you so that you have a good, clear idea of how you can make your life better with less risk for falls. All right.
Reason number 1 is...
Wait, they got to get the pencil and paper. Give them a little time.
Well, they can pause it and hit play again.
Yeah.
Anyway, the first reason is if you have previous falls. This may seem obvious, but if you have 2 or more falls in 1 month, you definitely are at higher risk of falling continuously, and things like physical therapy can actually help.
That's right. That's a good option, and it works quite well. We know from experience. Number 2, if you're of advanced age, this one's a little vague. Some people, I would estimate 75 or older. Balance, strength are 2 things that inherently decrease as we age every decade. There's studies on that. So, if you are over 65, 75, or more than that, your balance is definitely decreasing as well as your strength, unless you're very adamant about working with it.
Number 3 is just generalized weakness. The weaker you are, the more likely you are to fall. If you're not sure how strong or weak you are, just look at an example of getting out of a chair. Can you do it easily with no hands and do it on the first try? Or does it take you several attempts to get up? Or maybe you can't even sit on a low couch anymore.
There.
Things like physical therapy or just general strength training can definitely help with that.
That's right. Actually, we have a number of really good videos titled Getting Stronger at an Older Age, and you'll find a number of videos that are good for at-home improvement you can do on your own.
You're number 4.
Oh, yes. All right. Noticeable gait and balance issues. In other words, you find yourself losing your balance, just inherently loss of balance. I know I've had that myself a couple times. It makes me really wonder. But the other thing is gait problems. Do you notice sometimes that your foot or your toe catches as you swing through? That's called toe drag, or it could be from foot drop, or you're unable to lift your toes up on one leg or the other. If you have things like that, you should see your doctor, and then the doctor will probably refer you to physical therapy, and there's a number of things that we can work with you on to correct those problems, keep you safe.
Some other things like that, maybe if you have a more hunched over, or we call it kyphotic posture, this can throw off your center of gravity and also impair how well you can see forward because you're constantly looking at your feet. So things like that are something you would want to correct.
Right.
Now, number 5 talking tip.
Wait, what about the slow gait?
Whoa, we talked about that a little bit.
There's actually studies. If you naturally have a slow gait and you've realized it's gotten real slow over time, that is actually a high predictor of falls.
Yes, because you don't feel as safe moving fastly.
Well, yeah.
Fastly,
yeah, we're
faster?
not going to get, let's go to the next
English
one.
is not our
yes.
forte here. Anyway, number 5 is poor vision. Obviously, if you take away your sight to just do anything without your eyes, everything becomes harder and more challenging. So if you can't see well, it's time to go get some glasses. So go see a physician for that, because we can't help you much with optometrist. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for.
Right, exactly. That can make a huge difference in your balance walking and confidence with that. The next thing is orthostatic hypotension, which is
Low blood pressure.
Yes.
Now, you may not have low pressure. blood pressure when seated, but oftentimes when people go from laying down to seated up to standing, their blood pressure can drop dramatically, making them feel very lightheaded and dizzy, and sometimes they just pass out.
Right. So I have a friend, he says, I get dizzy when I stand up, or I get dizzy when he gets out of bed. He's 65 years old, no other symptoms. And it's like, that's a red flag. Make sure you monitor that. You probably have a low blood pressure drops. Some people have low blood pressure all the time, and that's something that medication may need to be administered to get the blood pressure up. Low blood pressure is a problem just like high blood pressure.
Now, another serious medical condition that can also affect this is called vertigo. So if you get more dizziness, the room is spinning, and your blood pressure is okay, you may want to get checked for vertigo symptoms. Things like physical therapy, there are specialists who work with this and are trained and certified that can help you with this.
That's right. Simple things like just turning your head in one direction, it gets the room spinning. Big problem, but oftentimes it can be corrected with physical therapy and a simple treatment or so. So get it checked out. There's ways to correct it.
Now, number 7 and the last tip may seem silly to some, but I think it pertains if you've had falls in the past, is you actually have a fear of falling, so you are much more precautious with even doing anything like walking or challenging your balance in any sort of way.
Right. If you're afraid of falling, which makes you get up and move less, then you can become weaker and actually increase your fall risk more. So it's kind of one of those compounding situations.
Now, if you feel like you're going to fall and you use no type of assisted device, simply using something like a cane or walker with 4 wheels or 2 wheels can make a huge difference and can keep you walking for longer in your life.
That's right. And we all know as therapists, a lot of people are apprehensive. I'm not going to use a walker or a cane. That's going to make me look old or whatever. Well, you get used to it. And if you don't fall, because if you fall, it's a big problem. It really can change your life.
We should mention you can use walking sticks as well. Those are a bit trendy.
Yeah, there you go. We've got a couple right over here. So anything else?
I think we hit everything, but as always, make sure to work with a trained professional, whether it's a physical therapy, whether it's your doctor, to help get these issues sorted. And if you have more than one of these issues, you're more likely to fall.
That's right. And actually what we did is we picked out another video that can help you out. It's called 25-second balance exercises that stops falls. And there's a PDF printout with the exercises so that you can do that. You don't have to look on the video. Some people prefer that. That's the one with...
I think Bob's in that video.
Yeah, Bob's in that one. He's using one is with vision and whatnot. And that's one that is oftentimes forgotten. So, yeah, check it out.
Now, we should mention that we can fix most things except for...
No, just about anything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
I screwed up the old line. A broken heart. There we go.
There you go. But we're working on it.
Bob and Brad, the 2 most famous physical therapists